Hello, hello, hello. I had to edit. I don't know how to edit. It's me again, Lady Sandy. Yesterday I sang a song, did a little bit of talking. Don't even know what the song said really, except for some words of it. Um, but I changed it out a little bit to make it more towards today's situations. I think I might have lost a subscriber. People are complicated, so this session today is going to be talk. Well, I can't say it. I can't honestly say I won't burst out in song because it's me. But today's going to be talking. It's going to be talk about complicated. It's complicated. Remember that movie? It's complicated. Well, life is freaking complicated. Because see, what life does is you go along this pathway and then these things hit you. You know, a tree falls down. Well, you either get out and chop the tree out and keep continue, or you find another way around the tree. And I've had trees falling in front of me plenty of times, um, in life and actually in driving, walking, running. It's kind of fun to run through the woods. So you hear the leaves rattling after snakes go in. Snakes hibernate, so after snakes go in, you have to worry about them biting you. So it's kind of fun to run through the leaves then. Then you got to worry about the bobcats. If you're in an area where there's bobcats. And then the cities come along and they take all the bobcats and they take all the snakes and they take everything. They just put up houses on top of each other. I like space. We're running out of space. So they went to Mars. Man, ain't that awesome. I want to go to Mars. If I live long enough, I would love to go to Mars. But you have to be rich, so I don't know how to get rich. If anybody knows how to get rich and they know how to make me rich by me getting rich somehow, please contact me because I'm desperate. I want to go to Mars. Get away from all this craziness and this complication. Well, I go through life and I think I try to think of other people, but I've been told that I make everything about me. And the only reason I'm doing these YouTube videos is because my son told me to. He says I'm a good storyteller, and my stories, well, I entertained them when they were young and entertained I don't know how many children. In Riverdale, Maryland, I don't know how many little kids stood around and listened to me tell my stories, sing. Ran into some of them later, and they thought I taught dancing at Arthur Murray and offered me $50 an hour to teach them how to dance. I said, Lord, I couldn't take your money. I ain't no dance teacher, but there have dance teachers, and I actually met a dance teacher. I didn't know she was a dance teacher when I met her, but I met her. I love to dance, but I just create my own moves. And I do that because different parts of my body hurt. So if I'm trying to step on my left knee and it starts hurting, trust me, I'm going to pull that left knee up. I certainly am. And so, but if you learn how to dance, you can move and groove and slide and glide and exercise your body and release the pain of where it's hurting because you're moving your body off the nerves that's being pinched, which is a big problem in my life. I don't know about everybody else, but in my life, that's a big problem. Um, Everybody has a story. Someone once told me when I was trying to tell my story, everybody has a story, Sandy. They do. That's right. Everybody has a story. You have a story, whoever you are. If you tune into this and you look in you have a story. I don't know your story. You know your story. Everybody should be allowed to tell their story and the truth of their story. And everybody's story is different. I see my story as how I lived it, whereas somebody else might see my story as how they think that I felt, or how they think that I acted when they know nothing about how I felt or nothing about how I acted or why I acted, how I acted. They know nothing about whether I love people. Um, I like watching people, and I watch, trust me. And you learn a lot when you watch people. You can go into a room, and I like to sit mostly by myself. When I go out, I'm by myself. I always say we. My sister said, why do you say we? You're always alone. I never figured out why I always say we, and then I got thinking, well, I say we because there's a spirit with me. Everybody has a spirit walking with them, whether you want to accept it, whether you want to realize it and let them work with you to help you and protect you. That's your decision, yours only, nobody else's. And a lot of people don't see it. You know, a lot of times I don't listen. I don't. Sometimes I don't listen. Somebody's trying to tell me something that's very important. It hurts them. They want to get it out, but I misconstrue what they say to me and take it right back to my story. Maybe. I think. I'm not sure. If I do this, I don't intend to do this. It's just that what they say reminds me of something that happened to me, and if I don't tell them, I'll forget it. And that's why I do that. But they don't know that. They think I'm just, and you see how it's complicated? I don't know. When I run into people, I don't know what they're thinking, but I think I can know what they're thinking by the expressions on their faces and by their body language. I can tell when people's in pain. You can't disguise pain. And for some reason, people who are in pain seem to be, well, they enter into my life somehow. And then I see their pain and I want to try to help, but I'm not good. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a doctor. All I can offer is how I see things. And from my experience, I'm 70. If you're younger than me and I'm 70, trust me, I've seen things you probably haven't. And I've probably experienced some things you probably haven't. Especially if money's concerned. And money's concerned everywhere. Everything's about the money. Everything's about the money. The music's about the money. Restaurants about the money. Bands about the money. Family about the money. I never was about the money. I mean, money just seemed to burn a hole in my hand. I couldn't. Back when I was a kid, Mama used to say, money's the root of all evil. And I didn't want to be evil, so money hit my hand. I'm going, let me get rid of this. Oh, homeless person, you need this. But I never had a lot to give, like donations to big charities. I would love to do that if I had money, but I don't. And a lot of times, those big charities, they ain't really helping as many people as they could. Okay? If somebody's getting paid way farther than they all deserve to get paid, instead of putting more money into the charity to help more people, then I don't really want to donate to that charity anyway. And a lot of them are like that. And once you donate to one charity, I mean, they spend so much money mailing you mail and wanting more money that if they'd stop spending that much money trying to put up mailers like that to mail you money and wasting paper, they wouldn't need so much money. You know what I'm saying? And so if I can give once and I give once and then you keep sending me all this stuff, you're wasting your freaking money. So stop. Stop doing it. You know? And corrupt politicians. Oh my God. Ain't that complicated? And both parties are guilty of a little corruption. I don't care who you are. You can say you ain't, and some people are totally honest. Some people are stupid honest, like me. I've been actually called stupid honest. Okay, literally called stupid honest. And my son told me, said, Mom, your business would have been a success. Our business would have been a success if you hadn't tried to be so honest. I was so honest that once we folded after 10 years and we didn't owe anybody, I tried to contact the people who had actually invested in this S corporation. I didn't find most of them. They'd lost touch and weren't interested in really. They just basically it was kind of donation. They felt sorry for me more than likely. But, but I wasn't wanting somebody to feel sorry for me. I was trying to, and I offered somebody a royalty check once, and they laughed at me. So I said, okay. And then I took them, as example. These were royalties from shares I had given to family members and stuff. And so when I paid out the royalty, they laughed at me. I said, okay. So then they became no longer a shareholder. And the people that I paid and that gave me money, and I found them, I paid part of it back, and then they told me, "Don't worry about it. The rest of it's a gift." And then I was told, "You didn't have to do that. It's a corporation." I said, "I know, but it was an honorable thing." And so that's what my son was referring to. I'm too honest. Like I undercharged for my services, for instance, when I was doing a karaoke show at the JV restaurant years ago, I charged $100 a night. And that was so underpaid. I had no clue I was worth more than that, way more than that, way more than that. I didn't know that. And then somebody ran into me later after, I was on the radio and everything. I should have been paid way more than that. But I wasn't, because I didn't know I should be paid more than that. I didn't think I was worth more than that, but I am. And so if I ever went back to JV Restaurant, yes, they would pay me more. And they probably won't, because they're so big already, with Wicked Jezebel and Lorraine. She's a good singer, and she's everybody loves Lorraine. I go see Lorraine, and she's got her regular customers and everything. So I doubt if they're ever even paying me to go there, and I don't really care, really, because I'm gonna do my thing, and that thing is a podcast, and the podcast is gonna be Lady Sandy instead of the one and only singing, dancing DJ Sandy K. It is Lady Sandy. I should say old Lady Sandy, but I don't. I'm 70, and people say you ain't 70. You don't look 70. You look 50. Wow, 20 years younger. I got wrinkles so deep you could throw some dirt in there and raise a garden. Trust me, I look older than that. But for some reason, my hair just weak. I shaved it to donate. And I donated 12 inches. This side don't seem to grow as much as this side, but I got beaten real bad. And and I was in car accidents, and this side of my head, it's just not level. So, and my neck's all messed up, so it's complicated. Complicated. It's complicated. Everybody's life is complicated. And you know what complicates them worse than anything? Relationships. You try to be a friend, and it becomes a friendship relationship, and then it don't seem to work very well. People need so much, and I can't give what people need. I don't have it. If I had it, I'd give it, but I don't. I have compassion. I try to pass compassion out to people, but sometimes somebody needs more, and I can't. I don't have. I don't know how. I don't know how to help some people. I don't. And I don't. I'm gonna go back to school though. I'm gonna study. I already know a lot about herbs. Ginseng, yellow root, snake root. I didn't know much about hemp until I started studying. I didn't know much about marijuana or hemp until a doctor told me to smoke a joint for a head injury, and it was a medical doctor. He said they couldn't prescribe it, but it would stop the vomiting, and I would rest so I could heal. It did. And I healed, and I got back to work faster than I would have if I hadn't smoked it, probably. And I've had so many head injuries. When I shaved my head, it was one of the things I didn't like about it. Because now I could see all them blame knots. There's a big old knot here, and a little old knot there, and a big old slice where the gun hit me in the head there, and and you see all these knots, and you go, oh. So you got to get over it and go forward. It's hard though. Like yesterday, I was putting dishes away, and there was a tiny plate in my left hand. My left hand don't work as well as it used to. And there was a tiny plate in my left hand. I went to put it away, and it just kaboom, right on the floor. It cracked the plate, and I go, oh my God, Angel's going to get mad at me now. My grandson saw me, and I picked the plate up, and I said, well, should I throw it in the trash? It's cracked. He said, no. He said, don't throw it in the trash. He said, just put it in the dishwasher. I said, well, the glass broke off, and the cats will get to it. I said, I can't see to get it. He said he'd get it off the floor. I hope he did. I'd hate to see the cats get a hold of a piece of glass. But my left hand drops, and whatever I got in my left hand, if my right hand ain't helping hold it, it's gone. So if I'm driving, my left hand goes out on me. I can drive my right hand until I can get my left hand back to work, and you have to do it. You have to move it back and forth and stretch it out and try to get it, whatever nerve is not letting it work, back to working. Chiropractors are great, but you have to keep going back. And I just don't have time or money to keep going back. And that's the problem with medical problems. That's complicated. Medical is complicated. So it's like the vaccine. Rich, they get it. And they get it faster than the people that actually need it first. I told them on CVS to get my flu shot, and they asked me if I was taking the vaccine when it came out, and I said, yes, I will. I said, but I don't want to take it until the teachers and the kids, nurses and the doctors, fire people working restaurants get it first. I said, I'm home. I can stay home. I can't really afford to stay home, who can, but I got help from my son and daughter, so I can stay home without, and I was eligible for $400 a week because, and I wanted to apply for that, and my son and daughter got mad and said, Mom, you don't need it. Other people need it worse. Just let them have it. And so I didn't even apply for it, but I would like the $1,400 if they gave it to us. That would sure help me out because I could start my business back, and then I can make money. Our business was Trio of Triangle, and it had supposed to have had several sections. There was one that was supposed to be computer consulting. That was my son. He was a nerd. He loved them computers. Pardon me. I have allergies. So anyways, he was a nerd, and so he took programming, and he makes pretty good money. And I'm proud of him. I encouraged him, go. He got he graduated high school, and I told him it ain't enough, And the computers are where the money is, son. If you can study computers, do it. And he did. He took my advice, thank God. He makes pretty good money. My daughter, she went to secretary school or something, and she makes fairly decent money, working as a contractor and stuff. And my granddaughters are working, 3. And so I guess Zoya's still working. My granddaughter, y'all. She might be still working. My other 2 granddaughters, they're working. And so, we're paying taxes, and way more than $750 a year. Okay, we're paying taxes. And my son says, Mom, if you get help and you need it, I say you should get it because I pay more taxes than Angel does. But now he's telling me, where the economy's bad, just, work it out. We'll be all right. We'll be all right because he continued to work. He didn't get hurt as bad as a lot of people did, like me. And Angel, she continued to work. She works from home 2 weeks and 2 weeks at work, and she's had to fight people who had COVID in her unit and stuff, and she's had to, worry about it. And she had cancer at one point, so she was, in my book, high risk. But she's got the first of the vaccine, which is good, excellent. I don't know my grandson. I don't know if he's going back to school or staying home. I don't know how that's going to work out, if he's going to get it or whatever. They work that out. They don't discuss that with me. He's not my son. So I don't know about that. But she's got me scheduled for one, for a vaccine. And I stutter now. I didn't used to. It was the last head injury I got when I started studying. It was pretty bad. I couldn't talk at all for a while. Now I stutter, and it's bad for my checking account because I reverse the numbers. Mm, I might call it dyslexia. They used to, but it might have been from a head injury. Kids calling dyslexia might have been a head injury somewhere along the line when I was a child. I don't know about the brain, and they're still studying it. And I love studying the brain. I read every magazine I can get on the brain, and so I would go to these neurologists after the head injuries, and I would read the magazines on the brain in there, and I learned a lot. Like the right side of your brain controls your left side, and the left side of your brain controls your right side. And I think my brain's a little mixed up right now. So instead of saying 70 cents, I say 07 cents. And in your checkbook, that 07 cents here and 07 cents there can add up to overdraft $35. So I'm trying to get online banking set up so I can go in and check and let the computer do the working, and I won't have to. But I got an appointment today, though. I'm happy about that. I got to go see the bank at 4. They're going to help me get back online to go online banking. And I'm going to take my iPad. I bought an iPad and paid cash for it. I don't have the receipt for it, but I paid cash for it when I bought it. When we got I'd got a settlement for a knee injury or something, and I paid cash for the iPad. Was going to do business on the iPad, and then I couldn't remember the code to get in, the number to get in, and we put it in too many times, and it locked up on me, and I can't get it open. And this guy at the bank, he said that's the app that they use, the iPad app. So if I brought my iPad in, he might be able to help me, get it unlocked and use the iPad instead of the laptop. Laptop's complicated. When I go in there, it's so freaking slow. I want to take some courses online, and I guess the iPad you could probably do almost as well as a laptop. I'm definitely going to have to get a new laptop if I go back to college. Absolutely. And I want to do that. I really need to do that for my own benefit. My own story. My own story says, when you get kicked down to the ground, don't let them keep you there and kick you around. Get back up, take a sip of that Dr. Pepper or Propel, and you'll feel well. And shake your boots off. Mm-mm. Shake your boots off. Mm-mm. Stand up, stand tall. Even if you're short, it don't mean nothing at all. When you do what's right, you are standing tall. So you all stand tall. Oops. I did it again, didn't I? My apologies. But it's complicated. My body's complicated, my mind's complicated, but I'm going to counseling. That's another thing, too, I wanted to point out before I get off here. I'm going to counseling now. I've seen people from time to time through the years, but I didn't feel that I needed to see one right now because I was doing okay driving for Uber. But my daughter, she saw me that my anger issues was starting to, I guess what it was, I was getting sick, and my anger issues is I was angry at myself is what it was, for not being able to do more. And she saw that, and she said, you either go to counseling or you got to move. Well, I don't have anywhere to go. So counseling it is. And I went to counseling, but it's helping. It's really helping. So I would like to say, if you're feeling bad, don't rely on somebody like me because I don't know what I'm doing. I can talk to you. I can tell you you're beautiful. I can tell you you're awesome. I can tell you these things. I don't know you. Counselor don't really know you, but if you talk to a counselor, it's private and they don't. It's supposed to not be shared. But I don't trust that sometimes too because there was something that happened to me that I wasn't even guilty of, and I got arrested, but I wasn't guilty of what they arrested me for. And so I tried to fight it, and I won the case, and it was supposed to be expunged. And then when I got beat up and got arrested for getting beat up, again, illegally arrested, they brought that back on me. And that's illegal. I hate to tell Grundy, Virginia, but that's illegal. You blame Grundy, Virginia Sheriff's Department and judge and court. You're all freaking corrupt, period. And I said it. So I don't like when people get illegally arrested, and that can happen to white people. It happens a lot to black people, trust me, or people from Asian, or they're targeted, Asian people. They're targeted like their delivery, they'll get pulled over and get tickets for a white person will. I've seen it. I delivered pizzas for Papa John's. I've seen it happen. So it does happen. And I hate that, but it ain't just blacks, People get something against you, and you're trying to speak the truth. You don't even know you're speaking the truth. You don't even know what you're talking about. You're just telling the truth. You don't know what's going on, but you're in a bunch of shit. Bad word, I apologize. But you're in a bunch of trouble. That's what you are, because you don't know what you're into, but you're in the middle of it. And everybody thinks you're asking questions because you want to do something about it, but you don't even know what you're into. How are you going to do something about it if you don't know what you're into? You don't know nothing, but they think you do, but you don't. And then they try to kill you. I mean, seriously, they will put contracts out on you. I know. I had one put out on me. I don't know why or who, but wouldn't it be nice to know who? I wouldn't know who, but it was first. That was years ago, and it was $3,000. I imagine by now, as many times they've tried to kill me, I imagine by now it's probably higher. I don't care. You know what I said when I found out it was $3,000? What? I'm not worth more than that. How about 10,000? Ain't I worth 10,000? I don't worry about that, you see, because every time somebody tries to kill me, my great spirit, if it's not time for me to die, and when it's time, I'm going because I'm ready. But if it's not time for me to die, God will provide something to protect me, and He has. Let me tell you, how I found out I had a 3,000 on me is I was walking from Williamson, West Virginia, into Kentucky to cross the bridge, and as I was going to there's a little tunnel you go under, and I guess that right under that tunnel is where that's probably where they could pick you off, wherever they were sitting. They could pick me off where I was walking. And so this big tall man came and walked beside me on a certain side of me, and he said, "Don't move or don't walk anywhere else." Said I'm a certain person's uncle, and they won't shoot you as long as you're with me. And there's a AK-47 pointed at your face. I go, "Why?" He said, "There's a contract out on you. Didn't know?" And I said, "No." "How much is it for?" And he said, $3,000. I go, "What?" I'm going, "What? Why? Who? Where? How?" Was what I'm thinking, but I'm thinking, what? And I had to make him laugh because when I'm stressed, I talk too much. And I also am funny. I don't it's morbid funny, but it's funny, and that's why I'm funny. And so he kind of laughed at that, and he looked at me weird, like, "You strangest, weirdest person I've ever seen," but he kind of chuckled at it, We went on across into Kentucky, and he said, "You need to leave." And I did. I moved out. I moved back north. I said, "Well, let me see if I can go back up north and hide around them people somewhere." Well, I went back up north, and I ended up moving to North Carolina. And while I was in North Carolina, somebody took my identity down there, tried to get on my Social Security. And they were giving me trouble about it. And when I finally agreed to give it to me, and I'd never applied before for disability, when they gave it to me, said, "You going to stay here this time?" I'm thinking, I didn't think about it at the time because I was real sick, But later on, I got thinking that don't make no sense. Somebody must have been there and getting money under my name if she thought I'd been there before. And I'm going, that's crazy, But I don't know what to do about it or how to do about it. And my disability Social Security is very low, and I've worked in factories. I made more money than my military husband did, and my Social Security is so low. It's lower than an SSI check. I'm serious. It's craziness. It don't make no sense. It's like you get penalized for working, and that's not right. So it's complicated. I went back and forth. You can't even connect these stories. I know. I wish I could get somebody who could work with me, who knows me, and they can outline the stories. But Jimmy said, just get on here and tell the stories. So that's what I'm doing. God bless you if you can keep up with them. Or if you don't want God bless you. I don't know what they say in other languages for Allah maybe or Yahweh. I don't know. But whoever your spirit power is or whatever, blessings to you. Because I assure you, wherever you are, whoever you are, your life is complicated. Because life right now in the, in the pandemic area, no, not area, oh God, pandemic, well, in the pandemic situation, okay, I don't know what the proper pandemic thing, the COVID pandemic, there you go. Everybody's life is complicated worldwide. We're fighting something that everybody in the world should be fighting against, and instead of fighting against, everybody wants to gouge this price, gouge gas prices, gouge this, gouge that, and make double money on poor people who can't afford to even eat or pay their freaking rent. And Lord bless those people who own the land that they sit on and they don't have no rent. They just have to pay high taxes. It's complicated. Taxes is complicated. Very complicated. Extremely complicated. Well, now that's good because I got a sister who works for H&R Block. So she's a pro, so she studies with H&R Block and takes all the courses, and she's a pro, so she can do taxes. She does my taxes now, so she lives in Texas though, so that's complicated. In COVID, she'd come here and we'd visit and have a time of our life, and she'd do my taxes and we'd be done, and we'd enjoy it. But COVID, it's complicated. So to all you people out there, my mind, my heart, my thoughts, my prayers, my good thoughts, my blessings are, well, I can't give blessings, only the Great Spirit can. Mother Earth, or whatever you want to call her. I think Mother Earth is probably God. Or the Great Spirit, the Sun is probably, honestly, you can't see God. And people want to see. They don't want to believe if they can't see. Well, my son was talking about that, and we was talking about faith, not God. And I'm going, Jimmy, I just don't understand you. I said, you should understand faith. I said, you write a computer program, don't you? He said, yes, of course. Well, do you have faith that that's going to work? Well, of course I think it's going to work. We're going to write it. Faith. And then I said, I'll believe God when I see God. And I looked at him and I said, Jimmy, can you see the wind? He said, no, but I can see the results from the wind. I said, then there you go. There's God. You had faith in your thing. God gave you the brain and knowledge because you were thinking and connecting. When you think and you connect, that's when you learn. But you can't say, I can't learn this, I don't want to learn science, I hate this, I hate that. Find your niche in life that you need to learn and learn it. Now, my son, he never wanted to read. And I know reading's important, but if you can't read, my God, that's bad. And everybody should learn how to read. And they should read, because that's when you learn, reading. He wanted to take karate lessons, and I couldn't afford karate lessons, but I could afford a book on karate, and I bought him some stars and some things, and his stars got stolen, and that created problems. Complicated. But it did get him to reading, and now he's programming, and he has to read all the time. He hates it. His eyes went bad, and he had to get glasses, and he was upset, and he made me go get new glasses. He paid for my new glasses. Now I've changed my insurance. I think I got eye care, but I can't seem to get everything working for some reason. It's complicated. Health insurance. Oh my God, hospitals. Ooh, they're raking off the money. And it's not right to gouge people for health. It ain't. It ain't. People should, I mean, way back when there was one doctor we went to, and his name was Dr. Sullivan. Dr. Sutherland. Suther. Sutherland, yeah. And his office is way on top of a mountain. I'm going, why would he build an office way up there? But there was a road up there we didn't know about. I don't know where it was. But when we went to him, we had to walk up these steps. We parked, on the highway. We had to climb up these big old steps going up that mountain to get his office. And I got stung by a bee, and I was allergic to bee stings. And all of a sudden, I started swelling, and my lips went like this, and my whole body started swelling. I got stung on a finger because Mom had honeybees. I wanted some honey, so I went up there and just stuck my finger in and get some honey. And they said, "You ain't get my honey," and here I am. So they ran, and they got his name was Nathan McGraw. God bless, may he rest in peace. He came down there and he drove Mommy to the doctor, and he actually carried me. He picked me up and carried me up them steps, and Mommy running after him. Mommy's strong. Mommy, she was rough, but I'm telling you, something happened to one of the kids. She was there fighting for them, every one of them, and that's the kind of mother she was. And she was up there, and the doctor told her she's allergic to bee stings. You have to give her bee bread. And so Mommy had to sell the beehives because I was allergic to bee stings. I don't think she ever let me live that down, though, because she can make money on that. She could sell the honey and make money on it, and it was a money-making thing for us, and then there it went because of me. I felt guilty for that all my life, but I couldn't help it. I really couldn't. I don't need to be feeling guilty about that. And so I'm trying to work on that. The counselor's helping. She said, "Sandy, you don't need to feel guilty for stuff you didn't do." But, anyways, complicated feelings. Now, feelings, that's the most complicated of all. Love can make you or break you. Hate will always destroy you in the end. It might take you along for a long time, and you can do damage to every freaking body you come in contact with, but eventually, it will come back on you. And those things you've done to other people, you're going to be at a place you can't defend yourself, and it's going to be done to you. That's a fact. That's life. It's complicated. Feelings, complicated. So I say, this has been a freaking long one. I hope to God y'all didn't get bored to death and go off on me. Scroll on by, turn me off, like Mommy said. Get on the radio so I could turn you off. But this way, you don't even have to turn me off, do you? You just go on wherever I'm on the YouTube and you don't want to see me, you just scroll on by. But if you do like what I'm saying or agree with some of it and you'd like to see more, you can subscribe. And I've been told that I should encourage somebody to subscribe. I don't know how to get subscribers. But if you like what you hear or what you see, I don't know why you'd like what you see, but anyways, if you do, please subscribe, and then you'll find new ones from me. You might not like the new ones because I think I put a new one out and somebody got offended. I lost 2 subscribers. I said, okay, I guess they weren't my fan. I have had a few fans. I don't think they're my family, though. My mommy was a fan. Oh, yeah. Billy Joe, may he rest in peace. He was like my biggest fan. That boy drugged me in there and had me singing to everybody. Grace, my sister, she was a fan, and her boys, oh yeah, they liked my funny songs. They sure did. And they ain't got no radio song. I think about every niece and nephew I had like that song. So, it depends on who you are, how you get fans. I don't really understand fans, and when I start getting a lot of them, I think I disappear. I told my son I get scared. I don't know why I get scared. I guess it was that movie about Loretta Lynn and them snipping her hair off, and I'm going, I don't want that kind of adoration. I don't want that, and I'd run away. And he said, Mom, that's not normal. I said, I guess it ain't when you write songs, you want to go on stage and then you want to run away. It just ain't normal. I'm seeing counseling, though. Thank you. Counselors, psychologists, psychiatrists. Some people might need psychiatric help. I don't. They give you drugs that make you non-functional, and I have to function. So I've been in there by the myself, and you don't want to ever do that, because if you do that, I won't let you out. Why? Money. It's complicated. Psychiatry's complicated. They make lots of money, and they'll keep you in there till they drain Social Security. Once your money's gone, Social Security said, okay, we're not paying anymore. They go, woot. They booted me out with a pee bag on and no identification. My daughter found out about that. She had a hissy fit, and she marked her little button there, and she said, you will not do this to my mother, and she took me home. Thank God for my daughter and my son. I didn't plan on having kids so soon. It happened, and I loved them from the day. I planned my daughter, though. I did. My son was like 2.5 and spoiled rotten. I didn't want him to be one of them little rich kids. Little white rich spoiled brats that didn't want to share. So, and he's more like me than my daughter. My daughter's more like my mom and her dad. She reminds me of her dad a lot. She's got a sense of humor. I don't know what it is. But she reminds me of him. And I loved him. They were both brought into this life out of love, and so that's important. You want to tell your children you love them, even if you choose to keep them. And it's been, I think all women have free choice, and God gave everybody free choice. And anybody that says you're going to hell, well, you know what? You just committed a sin, because you said that. You think you're God, and you ain't. Period. I said it. There you go. So, yeah, I'm blessed to have them, and I thank God every day for them. But I do want to say thanks to the counseling services I have. It's a Christian counseling service. I don't know the name of it, but they do virtual, and so now that with COVID that worked out, and it took us some time to get it worked out where we can connect every week, and we finally worked it out where we can connect every week. And so she's got to watch my hair grow. And she said, well, maybe you shouldn't shave it. And I said, no, I got to do this. And now I'm kind of like, I wish I hadn't done that. But it's okay, because I didn't know my granddaughter was getting married so soon, or I'd have waited and let it grow. And I think my other granddaughter might have known she was getting married sooner than I knew. And she was whispering in the background, just make it into a pixie. She looks good in a pixie. And I said, nope, shave it. But I was scared to death it wasn't going to grow back, and she's getting married November 21st, 2021. No, wrong. See there, I did it again. I mixed the numbers up. That's what I do since the head injury, but it's November 1st. November 1st, 2021. There you go. Got them straight that time. But I'm going to have some long hair. Not long, like down here or nothing maybe, but long enough to where it ain't bald. So I'm happy about that. I'm real happy about that. I'm dancing about that. I'm saying, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. Well, and I'm saying, hallelujah, thank you, God. I'm saying, oh, great thoughts to me. Oh, my God, this is awesome. So I started singing to myself, because I find that singing helps me heal. I don't know why. But like if somebody's yelling at me and I don't want to listen to what's saying, because it ain't really what they think they're saying ain't the truth. I just start singing in my head. My daughter figured that out, though. And so now she gets mad at me if I sing in my head, if she's trying to yell at me. But when they were children, I tried reverse psychology, because I minored in psychology. And so when I tried reverse psychology on my children, they were so intelligent that they learned the reverse psychology and reversed the reverse psychology on me. Did you get that straight? Let's try that again. I tried reverse psychology, which is a type of psychological thing that you do where you kind of take their psychology and use it to get them to do things like clean the room, you know, or run to the mailbox or go to the store or something like that. Anyways, and then they figured it out and they started using the reverse psychology on me. When I would do the reverse psychology, they'd look me dead in the eye and say, "Oh, I know what you're trying to do." I go, "Oh, crap, my kids are intelligent. Jiminy crickets." They figured that out fast. I'm telling you. Let's get that straight again. I use reverse psychology. You might want to Google that because I don't know how to explain it exactly. But if you Google it, you'll see what I'm talking about. And I use reverse psychology. You might want to Google it. Wouldn't hurt you to learn some things. Reverse psychology. I used it on them. They figured I was using it on them. Then they used my reverse psychology on me. And then I was doing what they wanted instead of me getting them to do what I needed done. Didn't work out for me. But you know, they're brilliant and they wouldn't have made it if they hadn't been with me through all my troubles and tribulations. I would not have made it. And that's a fact. I wouldn't. I got drunk once. I figured out that's not a good thing. When I realized that I was driving and drinking, I realized that my son had to help drive me from Dumfries to Arlington, Virginia, which is quite a ways. And I realized that I had a black eye that I didn't know how I got. And they told me how I got it. I said, oops, drinking is not for me. I guess it's that blanket chip in me. When you get to drinking, you get mean. And I did not want to be mean. In fact, I didn't want to drive and drink and have my children in the car. I didn't want to do that. So I looked at my children and I told them I have to make a decision. I didn't like the drinking anyway. I didn't like getting drunk at one time. It's not a good thing for me. It wasn't for me. It's not for me. Some people can handle it. Some people can't. I can't. So I made a decision at that point in my life. I would choose my children. And so I looked at my children and I said, that will never, ever happen again, and I will promise you that. And to this day, I have never, ever got drunk. I might have had a sip of wine, just at my daughter's dinner just because they were having wine, and wine's okay if you at home, and a sip didn't hurt me, didn't make me drunk. But I didn't really like the taste, so I don't really like the taste of alcohol, and I just never drank. I think I might start drinking some wine because it's supposed to be good for your heart, but I would probably only drink one teeny bit at night or something. I don't know. I just, drinking, just the thought of it. Well, it's been so long now, so, oh my God, it's almost an hour. Oh my God. That's terrible. Well, I know nobody's going to be staying along for this whole show. But anyways, if you enjoyed a little bit of it, subscribe, and maybe I'll make the other ones a little bit shorter. Have a great day. It's beautiful outside. I think maybe later on I'm going to go for a nice little walk. Get outside and enjoy some air. I love the air, and it's going to be nice. I'll dress a little bit warm and put a mask on so I'm not breathing the cold air and make me sick again. I'll go for me a nice walk. Can't put my nice pretty hat on because it's too windy and it'll blow it away on me. I guess maybe I could put my... might even blow that away. Wind's awful. I know what I'll put my hat on. I'll put my hat on that covers my ears and keeps them warm. Y'all have a great one, really. Oh, to all you people that lost families with COVID, my thoughts with you, truly. And all you people that had COVID and survived, oh my Lord, my thoughts with you. Talked to somebody last night and they said the doctor said they were going to die. And I didn't know how to handle that. I don't handle death. And she rang me out because I wasn't listening, and I thought I was listening, but I guess I was trying to eat, and I needed to eat because I wasn't feeling that well, and I went to the store, and I just got back, and I messaged her, said I'm going out, and I think she might have thought I was going to JV when I said I'm going out. When I mean going out, I'm going out to the store. I'm not going out to party, not with COVID. So I went to the store, I come back, and I said I just got back, I'm eating, and she got all mad, you don't listen, I'm dying, and and something happened to her at JV restaurant. She'll never go there again, and stop stalking me, and leave me alone, and I'm going to block you. And I'm going, okay. So I got on Facebook and I put out a statement saying, if I've offended anybody, please go ahead and unfriend me. I don't intend to do this, and if I have not listened, I'm truly sorry. But maybe she sees a psychiatrist, so I figured a psychiatrist bill would help her better than I could. And so I guess maybe my counselor, I told her about her, and my counselor was saying, Sandy, might be careful now. I said, you want to find out who these people are before you go on a long trip with them, because I was planning on a trip to see my family, and she had family. I figured we'd just, but then again, it wasn't a good thing to do, because I see now it wouldn't work, not a long trip, you know. Um, I don't hold anything against her. She don't like prayers, but I will send good thoughts to her. Um, and to all you people out there, you're going through stuff like this. Your family, some people don't even want to admit that there's a COVID out there killing people. They don't want to wear a face mask, and it's complicated. I wear a mask when I go out. I'm not wearing now because I'm in my room on my cell phone with y'all, and I don't need a mask to talk on a phone with y'all. Aren't breathing. Nobody here's breathing it. And my family have been following protocols since day one, so we're pretty safe in here. I'm allergic to dust, so I have to dust a lot, but other than that, it's pretty good. Um, I feel for those homeless people out there. That's another thing I need to put out there. They're talking about the International Hotel on Pennsylvania Avenue, what to do with it. I think they ought to move the homeless in there and let them run it. I mean, a lot of homeless people would work if they could get a job, and if they were healthy, where they would live in a place where they could clean up and stuff, and they knew they had their own little apartment, own room nobody could get into and stuff. And they bring the homeless in that they could trust, where nobody's stealing from anybody else. That'd be a good idea to have, And then take part of the money you make from the hotel and give it to the homeless. That's and the other part give it to them to pay themselves. I think that'd be a brilliant idea. And I think also D.C. ought to be made a state, because you know why? If D.C. had been a state on January 6th, when the Capitol was being, um, when the Capitol incident happened, let's just say it that way, if they had been a state, the National Guard, which was ready to go and wasn't called in, would have been called in. And that's why I think the main reason, that and the fact that them poor people in D.C. paying taxes, federal taxes, and ain't getting no benefits from federal government for it. It ain't right. Ain't right to tax people and not give them benefits. It just ain't right. So that's my opinion only, but my opinion. Y'all have a great one. Peace. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know these symbols, so let's say peace, love, harmony. I can't sing it, but harmony.